Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, Marquise Phillip. Catherine Gaston. Good to see you, honey. Hello, Foxtrot. Good to have you. Hi, Nana Laura. You guys have been in here for just a minute, huh? Hi, Sheena Lee. How you doing tonight? Hello, Emily. Hi, CE. You have a good night lurking, honey. Good to have you here. I'll make sure to read out every comment from chat so that you don't miss a thing. Hi, C. Chinny. Glad you made it. I'm so happy you're here. It was one of those blah days. It was gloomy out and it rained all day, but not like a fun rain. It was a very near freezing cold drizzle all day. Just gray skies, no thunder, no lightning, nothing wonderful. Just one of those days you want to take a nap all day. Cool. Sounds like fun. At least you got to go to WrestleMania. Or watching. At least you got to watch it. Hey, Patrick B. Good to see you. Glad you're here tonight. I did manage to find a few fun clips. Judge Motz. He's another Kansas judge, but he's real fun sometimes. Sometimes, you get those boring dockets, and I went through 4 of them before I got to his. So I was really happy when I started watching his, and it was quite entertaining. At least the first hour of it was. And so the remaining I have no promises after about 45 minutes to an hour. I have no promises, but I know the first hour I was able to, I didn't cut out a whole lot. Once I got to the interesting stuff, there was about a half hour of blah stuff, and I was just about to give up on it. And then I was like, oh, hello. No, I watch them. That way I don't miss anything. I watch them all the way through and pre-edit and clip them down. I thought about that, though. But hello, Rocky Lennon. Is Emmy with you? Thank you. It's another one that I stole from my mama. From her wardrobe closet. I love it. He does not. It's not Regier. I can't remember the name of it, but it's not Regier. He reminds me of someone, and I can't think of who it is. Someone famous. You guys will see it. Hi, Kate Alberg. Good to have you here, sweetie. That sounds like a high school cheer. BFAM. And then you got to think of something fun after it. I'm not that clever right now. Hello, Shane. How you doing, honey? I'm glad you're here. Aww. Aw, she sounds like such a sweetie pie. I'm glad it made her happy. I got it. It still sounds like a cheer. Hi, Ruth Ward. This is the best chat. The best. Hey, Kate Elberg, did you go back and see the funny from the other night that we told you about? It was funny. Emily and I had a real good laugh. It was public education. I'm sure I'm not the only one who didn't know BFAM. I've just never heard that. I've heard, the long version, but my brain is not capable of computing acronyms at the moment. It's just not in the cards. Come on. I swear. The clickety clicks just aren't clickety clacking. All right, I'm going to put the docket on. I've got the oven preheating so I can throw some garlic bread in. And I think it just beeped. No, don't you dare. No, don't you do that. Dang computer. Do what I mean, not what I say. Don't sit on my foot. Move your fat butt, please. Thank you.
All right, State versus Joseph Ciaramoli, 22 CR 191 and 22 CR 199. Is that you, Mr. Ciaramoli, in the
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a motion to revoke on the first case, 22 CR 191. Is that what it is in the second case, Mr. Marcinski?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Same identical motion.
Yes, sir.
Ready. There's motions to revoke in both of these cases. Go back to it. Yeah, 22 CR 191, 22 CR 199. You have the right to have an attorney represent you on those allegations. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, I'll appoint one. Do you know what you're trying to do with regard to an attorney?
What does it mean for revoke them? It's for, I understood it's for unpaid fines as well as getting for probation violation.
The judge, he's certainly entitled to an attorney, but the state's recommendation is going to be to extend his probation to allow him time to pay.
They are paid. I have a receipt saying they are paid. I went online to kscourts.com and paid them.
Is there a way to check? The other allegation looks like failed to obtain employment.
I am working, Your Honor.
You're working.
Your Honor, the cases are paid in full.
Okay, we were just checking ourselves, but you beat us to it. All right. Paid in full?
Yes, sir. And Dave is recommending that the defendant's case is just closed.
That we terminate the probation successfully or
Yes, Your Honor.
any objection?
No,
Yep, zero balance. So the motion to revoke, dismiss, case terminated, done successfully. All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, can't exactly revoke him if he's both paid in full and complied with the order of finding employment. There was probably just a breakdown of communication that caused that, but still, I'm glad they completely just dismissed it.
Right. State versus Taylor Finch, 23 CR223. Are you Mr. Finch?
Yes,
You're here on appearance of bond. There's a motion to revoke your probation filed. Okay, there's only one prior note, and that's back in September. So this is your first time on the motion to revoke. All right, you have the right to have an attorney represent you on this allegation. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, I'll appoint one. Do you know what you want to do with regard to an attorney?
is it even possible just to do it on my own?
Oh, yeah, it's possible.
I mean, Judge, based on the allegations here, the state's recommendation is going to be to revoke and remand a served sentence based on the commission of a new crime. So you might take that in mind.
Yeah, is that, it's in Winfield. Yeah, you understand what the county attorney's saying, that if they are able to prove the violation of your probation, they're gonna ask that you serve the remainder of your sentence. Do you still want to represent yourself?
I think in this instance, I'm the best one that can do that to convey.
Okay. You're the best one to represent yourself? Is that what you mean?
I believe so.
Okay. All righty. Did you want to, you can represent yourself, and if you do that, do you plan on challenging, the allegations that you violate probation, or do you plan on admitting? Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you going to be stipulating to the violations, or are you going to be challenging them and contesting them?
I don't know I mean, I know the difference in layman's terms, but
Are you going to be admitting to the violations or denying the allegations against you on this motion to revoke?
attempt to deny.
Are you sure you're the best person to represent yourself here? You don't know what I'm saying. I kind of tend to doubt that.
I can try to get a court appointed attorney then.
That's a good idea. All right, there's application. Actually, you've got an application filled out from before, I believe. Has your financial condition changed since you,
No,
all right, I'll take judicial notice of that. Looks like you had Joseph Favre before. I'll reappoint Mr. Favre. Oh, Elaine did?
Yeah, he was the one that was confusing right when we shut down. So his first application for Favre got lost, so we gave him Elaine.
Oh,
Elaine's
yeah.
filed the sentence and journal entry.
I think that you ended up with Elaine Esparza. Do you remember that?
yes,
Yeah, okay. We had some confusion. It was during the COVID era, it looks like, and it looks like we have, never mind, it doesn't matter, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna appoint Elaine Esparza.
And he's
That's who
still
you had before.
confused.
And we'll continue this to, let's go April 11th, does that work? April 11th at 2 o'clock. So write that time down and take Miss Esparza's information they gave you and give her a call, okay? We'll see you April 11th at 2 p.m., all right?
maybe.
All right, thank you. State versus Michelle Frankham.
At least he came around and took the attorney. Because anyone who answers how they want to proceed with fit to deny, they are fit to get the lawyer. That's what they're fit for.
24 CR 28. Are you Miss Franco?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're here on a summons, it looks like. And do you have a copy of your complaint?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go over that with you briefly.
Judge, just for the record, we already did this. She already had a continuance to request attorney or to hire an attorney. We can go through it again. I'm not interrupting you, but
I know what the charges are. I'm aware of them. I wasn't able to hire an attorney.
You had first appearance last week, or last time anyway, and I continued today. You were going to hire an attorney. You're unable to hire an attorney?
No, yeah, I'm not able to, but I did fill out the application for.
I do have that. Okay, very good. You're charged with 1 count of criminal threat. I see, you're charged with also assault and disorderly conduct. So those are the last 2 are misdemeanors. Okay, you're unemployed. Like to qualify. Appoint Bailey Schmiedler to represent you. I'm gonna continue this to give her a couple of weeks. It's 18th available or no? No, she's in the morning anyway.
Yes.
April 18th. 10:30, so write that down. It'll be in 2 weeks. April 18th at 10:30. Be back here at that time.
Okay,
And do you have Miss Schmiedler's contact information?
I'm sorry.
You have Miss Schmiedler's contact.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, make a call to her and set up appointments, and we'll see you back here April 18th at 10:30.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. State versus, I don't know if that's Jean or Gian. Geane Johnson, 24 CR 53.
Judge, that would appear it was a possession of marijuana. I issued a summons. That summons showed not served. State was going to request a bench warrant in the amount of 2,500 cash or professional.
Okay, is that you, Mr. Johnson? No,
Yes.
it is you.
Oh,
Are you Gene Johnson?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Can you stand at the podium? I'll talk to you for a second. He's so tall, we need to adjust our screen. Okay. And how do you say your first name, sir?
Gene Johnson.
It is Gene. Okay, very good. All right. It looks like a first appearance to me. So you did get notice of this. It looks like we didn't have service, but somehow so that's good. Do you have a copy of the complaint?
Yes, sir.
All right. And it's just one allegation of simple possession of marijuana, up to 6 months in jail, up to $1,000 fine.
Yes.
Those are the maximum penalties. You have the right to hire an attorney, and if you can't afford to hire an attorney, I'll appoint one. You know what you want to do with regard to an attorney?
Yes, sir.
You want a court appointed, you're filling out the application, I see, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll call your case in again in a few minutes after you get that filled out, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, State versus Benjamin Mangold, 24 CR 70. You, Mr. Mangold?
Yes.
You're here on a summons, looks like a first appearance. Do you have a copy of your complaint?
I do not know. I didn't receive anything.
All right, we're gonna print that out and bring it to you so that you have it for your information and records, and you're charged in count 1 with possession of marijuana. Misdemeanor carries up to 6 months in jail, up to $1,000 fine as a maximum penalty. Count 2 is an allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia, also up to 6 months in jail, up to $1,000 fine is the maximum penalties there. Count 3 is an allegation of defective taillight traffic infraction, punishable by fine only. You have the right to have an attorney represent you on these allegations. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you know what you want to do with regard to an attorney? Mr. Mangold, can you hear me?
I don't know if you heard me, a court appointed one.
Oh, no, I didn't hear you. Sometimes if it's not loud enough or something, it doesn't click in. Have you filled out the application yet?
I'm in the process of.
Okay, when you finish up, I'll circle back and call your case again in a few minutes then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. This is Renee Navarrete, 24 CR 24. Renee Navarrete with us. Summons. Not found on summons, so it's not likely to be here. Last call.
this case involves some intimidation of a witness. I can tell you the victim called knowing that he had court, so somehow he knew. So
Okay.
based on the failure to appear and the nature of the circumstances here, the state's probably going to request $10,000, request a bond forfeiture bench warrant, or I guess it's a summons. So request a bench warrant original in the amount of 10,000 cash or professional.
You have any special conditions?
I can't remember the young lady's name, Judge. I'm sorry. she wanted contact with him, so no.
Wait, it involved intimidation of a witness. And she wants contact with him. But the charges are moving forward. Did you hear that? I think a sprocket in my brain just went ping. The cogs stopped. That did it.
Okay. All right then. $10,000 bench warrant then. Failure to appear. Well.
Do they
I guess I put
ever?
no services. All that. State versus Ross Bryant, 24 CR 80.
But I spoke with a new attorney I'd never met before yesterday, a Mr. Jacob Lindani. We spoke about it. He was requesting a continuance. I'd advised him to prepare an order. I think he may have filed a motion.
He entered his appearance.
You spoke with his assistant.
28. They want it set over to sometime. Mike, did they not know how to file a motion? If there's a motion for discovery, do they know
I will,
how to do that? I've never seen this attorney.
I have her.
It's a guy, right? Jacob?
Philip,
Yeah.
take your hat off in
His
court.
assistant, I'm sorry.
I advised him I didn't object to his continuance request. We discussed some potential plea negotiations, and I again advised him to file a continuance order, setting it to a Thursday at either 11 or 3:30. We didn't discuss a particular date, so I'm sorry I didn't get that for the court.
Well, he should file a motion and let us know what he wants.
I mean, no.
His client's not here. Is this a new attorney or something?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's set it over. What time did he say he wanted?
Again, Judge, maybe we discussed that he would need to do a continuance order and either do it at 11 a.m. or 3:30 p.m. when we take up private counsel. I failed to get the date that he was requesting.
April 18th at 11 a.m.
Maybe they just do it a certain way in Wichita. He doesn't know. I don't know. April 18th at 11 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, they need to figure out how to do motions and stuff. The attorney stuff. Okay, April 18th at 11. State versus Edward Warren, 2017 CR 49.
Here, Your Honor. Here, Your Honor.
Mr. Warren is with us. He's a transfer from, he'd have to tell me, I think it was,
Ellsworth Correctional Facility.
Oh, that's coming from the jail. I have so many boxes on my screen, I couldn't figure out where that was coming from. Okay.
this is on he's from Ellsworth, Your Honor, did a disposition request, so it's
Oh,
a motion to revoke probation, a couple years old.
okay. Yeah, there's been a motion to revoke your probation filed, I guess. Let me look. Well,
The motion was filed sometime around December 21st of 2017, Your Honor.
okay. I'm still in the 20s. I'm like, where did this go? There it is. There's been a lot of motions and stuff filed since. All right, here's the motion to revoke probation. That we, filed back in December of, December 21st, 2000. Motion to revoke filed back then. You have the right to have an attorney represent you in this matter. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, I'll appoint one. Do you know what you want to do with regard to an attorney?
Yes, I want to go ahead and represent myself and take care of this so I can get back to Ellsworth Correctional Facility.
All righty.
I mean, Judge, well, he deserves an attorney. I was gonna say, the state does get recommend revoke and remand, but our journal entry is silent as to whether concurrent or consecutive, so he's been in state custody all this time. His motion, he can tell us how long he's been in, but I know he's been in for a long time.
I've been in since July 13th, 2018. I have not been out of custody since.
And I know his motions were to run this concurrently, Judge. Honestly, based on our journal entry not being, our journal entry is silent on concurrent or consecutive, so I don't know. Obviously, I'm not sure what he's in Ellsworth for and whether that's concurrent or consecutive, but
Yeah, because if it came after ours, it could have gone consecutive, theoretically. I don't know. Maybe that's what we get the attorney to check out. All
Yes,
right.
sir. I'll quit talking. Thank you.
All right. Have you filled out the application for court-appointed attorney yet, Mr. Warren? I see you represented yourself in the original case.
Case right now. I have mitigating circumstances I need to inform the court of before they try and do anything with me.
Well, I just need to know about your attorney. Have you filled out the application for court-appointed attorney yet?
Don't want an attorney, Your Honor. I want to go ahead.
You don't want an attorney?
No, sir. I want to take care of this right now.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So, nobody knows what the circumstance is, so nobody knows what's going to happen here. Do you understand that? I don't know if you're going to serve this time on top and consecutively to what you're in prison for, or if it's going to be, you're going to be given instant credit. I mean, I think the county attorney will look into that and see, I suppose, but you're willing to just go forward and take care of this now?
Yes, sir. I would like to address the court before anything else gets started.
Well, first of all, we'll do the waiver of attorney.
Okay?
That's what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a waiver of attorney form there?
No, sir.
Well, I mean, okay. Can the jailers give him one, please?
She's doing it now.
Okay.
Well, we had one pro se already tonight that wised up and got an attorney. This guy seems pretty dead set on representing himself. And for the first time in YouTube history, will it go well? Will this work out for one? Let's find out.
I have one, sir.
All right. Very good. Take the time to read it if you want it. It's the right that went over with you already. You have the right to hire an attorney to represent you. If you can't afford to hire one, one will be appointed to represent you in this motion to revoke. The worst thing that could happen to you is that I revoke and remand you to serve your sentence. That may be, it could either be a very big deal or not, and how it plays out. If this is run consecutive to whatever you're serving prison time for, it means that your underlying sentence here will be run after you've served your prison term. If it runs at the same time, could be that you've already served all the time. I mean, so it can go either way. Those are kind of the best case scenario and the worst case scenario.
I understand this, sir.
I
understand that.
Okay. All right. And if after you do this, you want to change your mind, you're not going to be able to, okay? Because I'm going to go over your rights with you on the court-appointed attorney stuff, and I've done most of that. If you choose to represent yourself, you have to follow all the rules of procedure and evidence, just as if you're an attorney. You understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs right now?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you with anything to get you to waive your right to an attorney?
No, sir.
All right. Take the time and read the form. And if you want to waive your right to an attorney and proceed to represent yourself this morning, you can sign it.
I've already read this form. I know this form by heart.
Okay. Well, then if you want to waive your right to an attorney, you can sign it now then.
Okay. It's signed, sir.
All right. Very good. I'll need that from the jail when this is over. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The jailer, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'll need that.
Okay.
Write the case number on it, 17 CR 49, State versus Edward Warren. Okay. Do you have a copy of the affidavit alleging violations of probation in this case?
No, I do not.
Okay. Are you, the allegation, it's failure to report. That's the allegation, and it's for several days back in December of 2017, saying you failed to report to the probation office, and specifically to your probation officer, David Beveridge, and that's 11th, 12th, 14th of December 2017. Do you want to get a copy of that affidavit and motion to revoke before we proceed, or did you want to proceed today without seeing that? I could
proceed today without seeing it, sir.
Okay, because we could send it out there. We're sending it anyway, and if you ever want to look at it, they'll give it to you from the jail there. They can get you a copy here pretty quick.
Okay.
But it is a simple allegation, so you're right about that, I suppose. All right. Did you plan on contesting these allegations, or?
Yes, I am.
All righty, we have Mr. Beveridge there at this morning.
I'll go grab him, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, some other things to maybe consider while we're waiting on Mr. Beveridge to get here. I note that the journal entry in this case indicates that Mr. Warren had a 1-year underlying county jail sentence. However, in reviewing the prior prosecutor's notes and then actually reading Judge McQuinn's handwritten notes from that sentencing hearing, that should have been a 6-month underlying sentence. That's what Judge McQuinn's handwritten notes, that's what Kerwin's notes stated. So regardless of what happens at this hearing today, the state is going to need to prepare an amended journal entry that reflects the actual sentence. It looks like everything else in here appears to be correct.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
I just would make that record.
Very good. All right. Do you have is Mr. Beveridge gonna be there with you, Mr. Hollis, or is he signing on separately? There he is. All right.
He's here, Your
Call
Honor.
your first witness, Mr. Marcinski.
At this time, Your Honor, the state would call Court Service Officer David Beveridge. Did you want to swear the witness, Judge?
Oh, yeah, I do. I'm too busy making my notes here. Mr. Beveridge, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear everything you're about to testify to is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
I do.
David, can you please state your name for the record?
David Beveridge,
And what is your occupation, sir?
Court Services Officer at the Sumner County, Kansas.
In your job as a court service officer for Court Sumner County, were you assigned a supervision of an individual named Mr. Edward Warren?
Yes, I was.
Do you recollect about when you were assigned that supervision approximately?
It would have been fall, probably December of 2017, roughly.
If I advised you that Mr. Warren was sentenced on November 30th of 2017, would that seem about right?
Yes, I think that's correct.
Do you remember in this case filing an affidavit alleging violations of Mr. Warren's probation?
Just based off my memory, I do not, but I can refer to my notes if that's okay.
If that would help to refresh your recollection, this was a few years back.
I don't think we're gonna be done.
Yes, my notes indicate from December 14th, 2017, that I can read you my notes, but I'll just wait for your question.
Okay. Again, in reviewing your notes, does it appear that Mr. Warren was placed on probation on or around November 30th of 2017?
Yes,
Did he ever come in and sign any orders of probation reflecting that?
no, he did not.
Do you know if he was directed either at sentencing or sometime thereafter to report to your office to review orders of probation?
So I spoke with him on the phone the day that he failed to report and agreed to allow him to come in the next day.
Now, when you say he failed to report, what was he supposed to report for?
He was scheduled to report to me December 11th to sign his orders of probation.
And how was he notified of that?
Probably would have been the way we typically do it, we would give them a slip after the court with direction or instructions to report to our office.
And your notes indicate that when that happened, he was ordered to report on or around December the 11th of 2017. Is that correct?
Yes, at 2:30 p.m.
Okay. And did he appear for that meeting?
He did not.
I believe you just testified that you had a phone conversation with him that day or after that?
Yes, sir. My notes indicate that I called him and agreed to let him to report on 12/12/17 at 11 a.m.
And did in fact he appear on that day, 12/12/17?
He did not.
Did you have any additional communication with him after that?
I did not. I did mail him a probation violation notice on that day, which was not responded to.
That probation violation notice, did it give him another date to report to or reporting instructions?
My notes indicate that he was actually, that later that day, he did call me and he stated that his car was inoperable and he was unable to get a ride. So I rescheduled him one more time on the phone for December 14th, 2017 at 1:30 p.m.
Okay, so that 14th date that we've been discussing, he was orally advised of that on a telephone conversation?
Correct.
Obviously, my next question would be, did he come in on December the 14th of 2017 in response to that directive to do so?
He did not, sir.
Did you have any further communication or contact with Mr. Warren after that date?
I did not.
Judge, I think that's all my questions for Officer Beveridge.
All righty. Mr. Warren, do you have any questions that you want to ask the witness?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
What is your name again?
Say that again.
What is your name again?
David Beveridge.
Mr. Beveridge, in the orders that was given to you by the judge, did it says anything about my probation being transferred to Wichita?
I don't recall anything that in the judge's notes about being transferred to Wichita. That was a lot of years ago. I don't recall that.
Oh, okay, Mr. Beveridge, do you recall that after court, I came down to the office and filled out paperwork, and then you had an emergency and couldn't see me that day? Do you recall that?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Mr. Beveridge, do you recall having any paperwork filled out by me after my sentencing the day of the 11th that was filled out by me in my handwriting?
I don't recall that, but I do know as a part of our standard procedure that when after court sentencing, everyone comes down to the probation office just to meet with our secretary. So what you're saying probably did happen.
Okay. Mr. Beveridge, is it possible that you were supposed to transfer my probation to Wichita and you didn't do it?
No, you would have still been required to meet with us one time to sign your orders of probation, and that's what we're discussing today.
Okay, so Mr. Beveridge, if the judge told me to meet with you the day that I got sentenced, and when I went to your office and I couldn't see you, would I still be in the wrong for not reporting because I don't have transportation?
Yes, the judge, the court gives us being court services, the authority to schedule meetings with you, and that's what we're discussing today is the failure to report to that meeting.
Okay, well, if the judge ordered that I see you that day that I got sentenced, because the judge made an agreement with me because I had no transportation or driver's license, and I didn't get to see you because I didn't have transportation, would that still be a failure to appear on me when I followed the judge's orders?
Judge, he's asking the witness to make a legal determination,
Okay, objection
and
sustained.
he's also bringing in facts that aren't in evidence.
Objection sustained.
Okay, do you have any order saying that my probation was supposed to be transferred to Wichita?
We would have most likely transferred your probation to Wichita if you would have made your meeting with us.
Okay, so, well, I'm trying to figure this out because, but your secretary did give you paperwork that I filled out, is that correct?
It's most likely, yes, I would have had a file.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Any other witnesses you wish to call, Mr. Marcinski?
No, sir, thank you. And no rebuttal questions.
And I forgot to ask you that, yes. All right, the state's rested. Mr. Warren, did you wish to present any evidence?
Mr. Your Honor, I would like to call myself as a witness.
All righty, raise your right hand, please. You swear everything you're about to testify to is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so help you God.
Yes, sir, I know.
Before we get there, Mr. Ross, let me ask, have you had a chance to look at the affidavit yet that we sent out there?
This is Mr. Warren. There is a typo.
Well, that's my point. Have you looked at the affidavit? It alleges that on or about the 11th, 12th, and 14th day of December, one Larry Ross failed to report. Now, that's an affidavit sworn out under a motion to revoke for Mr. Warren. And the title of the affidavit is State versus Edward Warren. That's clearly a typo, but there is a legal issue there. The only allegation, it's alleged the defendant violated probation by Larry Ross not showing up. And this happened way back in 2017.
Case number is
One
also,
of Judge McQuinn's cases. So I don't know, never had this situation, but seems that it might be a problem. I would definitely, if he had a defense attorney, if I was his defense attorney, I'd be raising that.
excuse me, Your Honor, it also has the wrong case number also.
Well, it originally did, and it's been crossed out and corrected. So you have it now. So that to me is the bigger problem, a big problem that maybe we don't even have to get to the rest of it. In other words, there hasn't been a valid claim technically made against Mr. Warren would be the argument. Now, this was a mistake made before your time, Mr. Marcinski, and it wasn't my case either, but I'm looking at it now.
Judge, I gotta be honest with you. I don't care. If you want to say that it's a violation,
Okay. I think there's a problem here. I think that there's actually not an allegation made against Mr. Warren. It's made against Mr. Ross.
With that in mind,
it's a
Judge.
typo. I know it's a typo. I know the situation, but be that as may, you know.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just saying if that's the finding you're making, then his probation would have expired
Yeah. All
years
right.
ago. So,
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make that finding that the allegation is against, that it can't, that it's not a condition of Mr. Warren's probation that Mr. Ross report. So, because I don't even know who that is. It's probably some prior defendant, I imagine. So I'm going to dismiss the motion to revoke and terminate the case. All right. This hearing's concluded. I think you won on a technicality, Mr. Warren, so congratulations. You're good to go. All right. Good luck in prison.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A technicality win is still a win, and that might be the very first pro se win that we have seen here. That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's my thoughts too. I would have really, I'm kind of sad that the judge did all that before he gave his testimony. I would have really liked to have listened to his testimony and his version, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it would have said. I still would have wanted to hear it. But yeah. We will put that on the list of merch. with that attorney's face on it. Well, prosecutor, that's the prosecutor. And I think who he reminds me of on Big Bang Theory. There was a big guy who worked in the rocks and minerals lab, and he was kind of socially awkward, to say the least. But yeah, he was the rock guy, and that's who this prosecutor is, a skinnier version of him. Probably just as socially awkward, though.
Okay, State versus, is that right? Yeah, it is. Charles Wilkinson, 24 CR 32. Are you Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes, I am, sir.
All righty.
Good morning.
All right, last hearing, motion to withdraw was granted by the attorney.
Last week.
We're going to look for a court-appointed attorney. So how's that going?
I called 4 attorneys last week. This week alone, I called 11. And I keep coming up after a long conversation with Attorney John Schultz and then Mr. Mike Brown, attorney. Come up with a Chad Gillis that I called last week, and everybody's advising me with him. Problem is, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and I just need to get some funds. I need a little bit of time to get some funds.
Okay.
Bond, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who was that last attorney you said?
The one that advised me to go with was Chad Gillis, and he gave me a retainer.
Chad Giles. Chad Giles?
Yes, I guess that's it.
Is he in Winfield or Arc City?
Yes, yes, sir.
I thought you said Chad Gill for a second.
Yeah, and Mr. Mike Brown and John Schultz was getting in lengthy conversations, and I explained my situation. They said I should go with him. I talked to him last week, and it's a $50,000 retainer, sir. And I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I would rather go there instead of another court-appointed attorney. I just need a little bit of time financially.
State's position?
I don't have a position, Judge. I'd objected. He'd requested a 60-day continuance, I think, last time, and I'd objected to such a long continuance. Gave him a week. It sounds like he's been following through with getting him. $50,000 is an extreme amount of money for anyone. But so I don't know how long he's asking for. I guess my objection would be based on how long it is that he's asking for.
My guess is the only position state knows is missionary.
Well, I'll just set it over 1 week because I want to keep tabs on this as well. It's he's facing life in prison if he's convicted of any one of these charges. So I want to give you every opportunity to hire your own attorney, but the time will come eventually that you're either going to have to move forward representing yourself or or reapplying. I know you make you told me $150,000.
51 last year, so far this year, it's 40,000. It's just that this stuff has cost me so much. I went through everything.
Yeah, it's expensive. I understand.
But, Your Honor, you said next week. Here's the problem with that. Last night I was supposed to go on a train for the first time this half. I get paid every twice a month. And it's 1,700 to go to Amarillo and back. And I had to mark off last night, so that's 1,700 gone. If I do this again next week, we're talking, I don't even have paychecks.
Well, if you can get an attorney hired, they can appear on your behalf.
Yeah.
He's already sitting this week for his bond.
Oh, he is. And I'm told you're already set next week on a bond appearance when you bonded out. Yeah, your bond appearance when you originally bonded out, or the second time you bonded out, had you appearing next week anyway.
Okay. Well, you want to do that at the same time then, Your Honor?
Yeah, I mean, we would do it at the same time.
Okay.
How about this time I'm gonna set that over. I'm gonna set everything over to April 18th, including next week's appearance, okay?
April 18th?
April 18th. I'll check in with you in 2 weeks. I want you to have somebody hired by then if you can.
Sure.
Okay, so you need to realize that you are facing the rest of your life in prison.
Yeah, I understand.
This is the biggest deal in your life probably ever.
I understand.
I imagine it would be. This is a bigger deal than going to Amarillo. This is a bigger deal than your savings account.
I understand all
Figure
of
it out. Okay, you make a lot of money. You do not qualify for an attorney. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So April 18th, do what you need to do to get it done.
April 18th.
Get yourself the attorney you want hired, and that's April 18th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. All right, so I'll see that.
My guess is he's a penny pinching old man who's hoping that if he just keeps saying, I can't afford it, the judge will give him one.
Thank you.
Good day. Thank you, Larry.
All right. State versus, that we do to get through everything. All right. State versus Gene Johnson again. That's 24 CR 53. I have your application, Mr. Johnson. You didn't fill out the name and the age and the birth and your address and your phone number, which is stuff we will need because if you do get an attorney, which looks like you will, otherwise, we do need a way to get a hold of you. And Mangold, same thing. There's no address, no state, no zip code. Gotta fill out the forms, guys. They'll bring those to you. Go ahead and finish up the work.
You know, with the necessary information, your height, weight, race, gender, those things don't nearly matter as much as your name and address and phone number, dudes. And I want to know what this guy over here with the sunglasses is all about. His box lights up green quite often, so he's not muted. But my brother is singing. He is singing a song that only he can hear. And it's a long one.
If you would.
Judge, I do know that, notice that he was here. Charles Baker has been with us all morning. I declined that case pending evidentiary testing of the controlled substances that were found on this person, sorry.
All right. You hear that, Mr. Baker?
I do.
Okay. They'll usually they'll consider charges again once the testing's done. If it comes back positive, they'll be charging you. But for right now, you're free to go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. State versus James Bayless, 21 CR 219. Mr. Bayless, you're in court. You need to take off the hat, please. Mr. Bayless, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Take the hat off, please, and also unmute yourself. Okay. Very good. Do you know how to unmute your device, Mr. Bayless? Do you know how to unmute your device? You're muted. I can't hear you, sir. Mr. Brenner, just have him come in next week. He's not able to work through.
Hey, yes, Your Honor, that'll be best. I'm sure I will call him right after the proceeding. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead though, since he's actually shown up. If the state doesn't mind, I will withdraw the bench warrant.
No objection, sir. Thank you.
All right, bench warrant withdrawn. You'll need to appear in person next week, Mr. Bayless. That's continued to April 11th at 9 a.m. You'll need to be here in person since you're not able to unmute your phone. All right, continue to April 11th at 9 a.m. Your probation officer will call you, tell you what's going on. All right, with Mr. Johnson's information back here.
That went on for a good 15 minutes, but I had to trim it down. But Mr. Heels couldn't figure out how to unmute, and yeah, it went on. It went on for a good minute. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yep. Yeah. Some of that, part of that is my when I take out the spaces of dead air, but even through those dead air spaces, there was no sound, but occasionally his box would light up, so he did things. Like when his chair made a squeak or something, so it's not muted. I'm baffled at this one. And yeah, my garlic bread is like a minute and a half too overdone, because I didn't want to leave. So it's going to be crispy when it cools off, but it's okay. I've had worse.
There we go. All right, looks like you qualify. I'm going to appoint Austin Fallsgraf to represent you.
Who will represent me? I'll give it to you.
He's an attorney by the name of Austin Fallsgraf, and they'll be giving you his contact information. And I'm going to be setting this over to I'm going to do April 25th available, or 18th. I'll set this over to April 18th at 2:30. So write that time down. April 18th at 2:30. So be here at that time. Also, call Mr. Fallsgraf and make appointments. Do you have any questions?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
State versus Benjamin Mangold, 24 CR 70. Applications filled out now. Find that you qualify, and I'll appoint Austin Fallsgraf to represent you. I'll set this over to April 18th as well at 2:30. So write that down. All right, you got the time written now, April 18th at 2:30, Mr. Mangold? All right, you got your attorney's contact information?
Yes, sir.
All right, be back at the time and make appointments and keep those with your attorney. We'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. State versus Levi Curl, 22 CR 22.
Judge Levi Curl appears by Zoom with counsel Matthew Metcalf.
Apologize for my tardiness, sir.
All right, called Mr. Curl's case, 22 CR 22. I think we're here on disposition, motion to revoke. Was set over for disposition until today. Are we ready to proceed? Is Mr. Curl with us?
Judge, he was ordered to appear in person. As I sent in the email along with the attachments, there was a death of someone close to the family. Provided information regarding that. Told him that I couldn't modify the court's order to appear in person, but he wanted to attend the funeral and services, and so he's hopped here on Zoom. My request is going to be that we set this over for 2 weeks for him to appear in person. If the court wants to go forward, then we'll have to do it by Zoom.
I think I saw him come in earlier, which I was surprised about, but I don't see him on there now.
Yeah, he was on here. You're right, Judge. It doesn't appear he's still on.
Okay. All righty. State's position on the issue here.
Judge, the state's recommendation in regards to disposition would be revoke and remand. Matt did send all the information. I reviewed the funeral notice. It does say that there's a funeral for a young lady today at 2:00. So I guess I wouldn't object to a continuance of disposition for him to go to the funeral. But at this point, he doesn't appear. I don't think I have much that I can do except for ask for a warrant. I also don't necessarily want the sheriff showing up to a funeral to arrest him either.
Well, I mean, it's probably in Oklahoma. Who knows where it's at?
It's in Fairview, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Not sure I've seen somebody, I guess this is under what's that saying? Better to ask for forgiveness and was it then permission?
Well, Judge, I think it was his intent to be on here. We saw him on here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back or not.
I know he was going to head down and wasn't he gonna get tested again that last time we had him in court?
Judge, he did. There was a presumptive positive on that, but it was sent in for confirmation and it came back negative that it was a false positive. So he did go down and get tested.
And I would concur with that, Your Honor. I followed up on that same yesterday with the ISO, and that's what I was advised, or with the CSO.
Who was it that died?
The information is, I don't know if Megan printed that for you or not.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff here. I'm trying to figure out where the information on the funeral is. That one, I was looking at other stuff, not that. I thought he'd be here. So.
It's a screenshot.
The last page. I don't have anything about a funeral that I've seen yet.
I'll pull it up, Judge.
Go right there.
This is it. Oh, that's the person that died. What relation is he? Doesn't say.
Trying to look back, Judge.
How far is Fairview from here?
Fairview is, I want to say it's about an hour southwest of Enid. I believe my recollection, I went to college down in that area. I want to say it's about an hour and 45 minutes away.
So he could have been here and then made the funeral anyway.
Well, the information that they were starting their family stuff at 10, but in any event,
all right.
All I can do is present it to the court.
Yeah, I can't really disallow that. Much as I want to, I can't. So I'm gonna grant a bench warrant failure to appear.
Yeah, if you have court, you have to somewhat give up certain things. The family gathering prior to the funeral, if you can do court and then still make the funeral because it's only an hour and 45 minutes away, then you got to give up the family gathering part. Because let me tell you what, you're going to miss a whole lot of family gatherings and funerals while you're sitting in jail, finishing out your sentence. And they don't let you out just whenever you want. You get to do Zoom court, but not like you can when you're out. That was the dumbest thing that guy could have done.
Bench warrant. What's his bond now? Isn't he on bond?
I believe he is.
So bond revoked. It's at 20 now. I'll set the new bond at 30. Cash professional surety. Okay, state versus Reed Druid, 23 CR 108.
Judge, I'm appearing on behalf of Mr. Druid by waiver.
All right, Mr. Metcalf.
Judge, Mr. Marchinsky and I have been visiting. We thought we had a resolution by journal entry. Mr. Marchinsky was provided some information to his office, but I don't think there was any documentation. He was working on following up on that. I'm not sure if that's been able to happen yet. That was only a couple weeks ago.
I guess I'm still waiting on information from Kingman and what happened in regards to the ongoing litigation out there, because I thought we had an agreement as to how that was going to resolve, which was going to fix the case here. And
I sent the consent to you. I can send it again, but we've signed that.
Okay. Judge, with that in mind, I guess the state would need to request a week or 2 weeks to review that.
All right. Continue to April 18th.
April 18th would be fine.
All right, April 18th at 10 a.m. State versus Christopher Gallagher, 22 CR 147. Mr. Metcalf.
Judge, I haven't had any contact with Mr. Gallagher. We didn't have any contact information because I think the initial case was a retained case and we didn't see an application in the file. Hasn't made contact with my office, so we checked the jail roster, not in custody. So I don't know the circumstances of where Mr. Gallagher is.
Okay. State have a motion. You got a bond, looks like.
Say, Judge, if I'm reading this, back in March, he failed to appear. The court issued a $50,000 warrant. Technically, I believe we're here today for my motion to forfeit that bond.
Oh,
That's what it looked like to me too. And I wasn't exactly sure why I was appointed on it. But I thought maybe I was missing something, or maybe it had been picked up and bonded and it just hadn't made the file.
Well, he might have asked to be appointed when he did appear, before he made bond, perhaps.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, all right, so you have, we are here, looks like, on the motion for judgment on the bond. Is there a bondsman here objecting? Doesn't appear so. It says Angel Martinez posted an appearance bond.
According to my motion, Your Honor, I sent Mr. or Miss Martinez notice of this hearing scheduled for this time and date. That would have been back on March 8th. I sent it to 700 North Market in Wichita. I'm not familiar with that bondsman. It's not somebody I've dealt with regularly.
All right, judgment on bond granted. Order to pay in. State versus Larry Hildebrandt, 23 CR 300,054.
Yes, sir, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right, very good. Mr. Metcalf?
Judge, could we hold that one for just a minute? I forgot to ask him something yesterday. If we could hold that and call the other cases, I'll go do that. I'm here at the courthouse.
Very good. State versus Rainey Leisure, 21 CR 150.
Your Honor, Ms. Leisure appears through Zoom with counsel Matthew Metcalf.
Mr. Metcalf?
Judge, we've got a kind of a proposal to get the matter resolved. It will require her putting some money together, and then of course the county attorney agreeing to that. If it would be possible for us to go out to May 9th to give her a chance to put some of that together and see if that'll make a difference on how we resolve it.
All right. May 9th then at 10 a.m. State versus Santos Smith, 21 CR 166. All right.
Oh.
Mr. Smith, are those glasses on for a medical reason or anything?
Yeah, I have impaired vision.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Metcalf?
Judge, I'd like to ask for April 18th on this to do an in-person probation violation hearing. I did forward the information regarding his recent completion of treatment. I think if we could just come in person, do that hearing and see where we stand.
All right, April 18th at 10 a.m. in person. And this is going to be a contested PV?
No, I don't think it's going to be a contested PV. We're just going to need to be able to present evidence regarding what he's doing in drug court in Wichita, as well as that completion of treatment.
Very good. All right, April 18th, 10 a.m. in person PV hearing.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. And we're down to Larry Hildebrandt. So you want to recess?
Yeah, Judge, I'll go ahead and mute and stop the video, and then I'll go ahead and go and meet him in the hallway, and then I'll go in the courtroom and we can finish that up.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Are you ready for it, Mr. Metcalf?
Yes, sir.
Looks like you are. How long you been there? I've been doing other things.
Just no worries, just about five minutes.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell us if you were ready, so I'm sorry about that. State versus Larry Hildebrandt, 23 CR 300,054. Mr. Metcalf?
Judge, I needed to get some additional information from Mr. Hildebrandt, which I've gotten, and I'll relay to Mr. Marchinsky. We'll see if we can still get this worked out. I'd like to ask for the April 25th day. If we don't have it worked out at that time, we'll probably need to set a prelim.
Cases.
I'm sorry, I bumped it all the way back to the beginning because I was trying to pause it for a second, because I am just, what is up with Lacey in the bottom right? That's an in-car position I've never seen before. What is that camera angle?
Information from Mr. Hildebrandt, which I've gotten, and I'll relay to Mr. Marchinsky. We'll see if we can still get this worked out. I'd like to ask for the April 25th day. If we don't have it worked out at that time, we'll probably need to set a prelim.
All right. Any objection?
No.
April 25th at 10 a.m. Is that all? That ends of the 10 o'clocks. I think we're ready for the 10:30s. We'll be in recess until 10:30.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Did I do it right? Oh, shit.
All right. State versus Brenda Gray, 24 CR 46. Party state appearances, please.
May I please the court, Your Honor, Larry Marchinsky on behalf of the state.
Which case was that, Your Honor? Could you give me the name? So I apologize. I haven't written down my name.
It's Brenda Gray, but I think it's Bailey Schmiedler's case. I
Oh,
don't-
yeah. Yeah, that one in Rupert. Well, we'll start with Gray. She's in Saline County today. Wanted to get it continued a month for disposition. Client's out on bond.
Okay. Will May 2nd or 9th work?
Sure. Can we put it for May 2nd now? And then when Bailey comes back, if she wants to change it, I'll have her reach out to the court.
All right, continue to May 2nd at 10 a.m.
And then, Judge, if you want to call Rupert, it's going to be the same request.
Alrighty. Try to find that one. Yeah, but State versus Stephanie Rupert, 24 CR 29. I'll continue that to, and is Miss Rupert with us?
That I don't know.
I think she's talking. She's Samsung, I think.
Yeah, you're muted, Miss Rupert.
All right.
Miss Jones, you're in court. Please put on a shirt. This is not trailer park court. This is court. Shirt, please.
Well, I'll set it over to
Yes,
me.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sorry, my phone is like being weird on me.
it's okay.
Set to
So-
May 2nd. I'm gonna
May
get-
2nd.
Yeah, we'll be back in touch with you, Miss Rupert. I'm covering for Bailey. She's up in Saline County today.
Okay. Do we know what time? I know I'm going to be
I'm
coming
trying to
the
tell you.
office.
May 2nd
Okay.
at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Now
Thank
I'm-
you.
No. I'm
10:30.
got me all flustered here. It's 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
Royals,
The other
the
one at
Royals
10?
bullpen last night.
Okay, I need to look. Did I set the other one to 10 or did I set?
You
the other-
didn't give a time, but if you could just set them both to 10,
10:30. 10:30.
10:30 rather.
I got you do.
Now I'm all flustered.
That's what I said. 10:30. All right. What was the first one's name? And I'll just check. Brenda Gray. Is
Yeah,
it?
Brenda Gray and then Miss Rupert.
Now, will I be done and can disconnect or?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a
Her situation got all the guys all flustered, apparently.
great day, Judge.
You too.
Your Honor.
May 2nd at 10:30. The Gray case as well. So I didn't say a time. It's 10:30. State versus Sierra Gwynn, 23 CR 77.
You want to, or do you want to?
No, Mr. Randall's appearing on behalf of Miss Gwynn, who appears in person.
Yeah, Your Honor. So I don't think there's going to be any doubt. The probation violation, which I believe I haven't been able to speak with Miss Gwynn, but I spoke to the prosecutor and she just got out of jail. It was for a positive UA, urinalysis. And I believe the joint recommendation from the defense and the state is that she be revoked, her probation be revoked, and she be placed back on probation. And I'm going to be speaking to Miss Gwynn about this. We have been able to talk, but I believe that's the joint recommendation. And
Did you want to set this over to talk to Miss Gwynn then?
it probably, yeah, probably. I mean, probably would help.
Okay. Yeah. You want to try to do a breakout room now? We could clear the courtroom or?
Yeah, that would, yeah. Could we maybe just put her on last?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
And then Miss Gwynn, if you could sit tight for a minute. Because I'd like to dispose of it today if possible. We just haven't been able to connect.
Okay. State versus Nicolette Jones, 24 CR 11.
Yeah, that one, Your Honor, the client just got out of inpatient treatment.
Yeah, and she's here. Yeah. we see it.
Right. So what I think on that one, we want to get a new disposition date. She's out on bond. Miss Jones, we're going to talk to you separately, but what I'd like to do is we're in talks with the state about a potential plea agreement. And Judge, she just got out of inpatient treatment. And so for that reason, we haven't had a chance to have an in-person talk, and we're going to do that next.
You just want a couple weeks or what do you?
Yeah, give us the 19th,
All right.
18th, I'm sorry, 18th.
Let me look real quick because my hearing for my kids and their foster care case, I think it's the same day. Let me look at my calendar, okay?
I'm
Okay.
shocked.
Okay, I guess it's not. I guess that's the 22nd. I thought it was that week, but it's the 22nd. That'd be fine. I just
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
want to get it scheduled at the same time. That'd be it.
And she had just got released at on the
2 days
first,
ago.
so, yeah.
April 18th at 10:30.
Extra
10:30. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Chris, do you want me to just call your office and set up an appointment or something?
Yes,
Or you're-
please.
Okay, thank you. Have
Yeah.
a good day.
Yeah, thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Congrats on getting out of treatment.
Thank you. I'm
All
like, I'm out of there.
All right, I got the Shapley cases, State versus Christopher Shapley, or maybe it's Shapley, but 24 CR 21, 24 CR 10, 24 CR 7, 24 CR 6,
Can't figure out
24
how-
CR 82.
Yeah, that one, Judge, if we could put that on the same date, the 18th. A new case was filed March 21st. He just got out of jail on March 25th. And so we had a couple emails out to Mr. Marzinski. We haven't been able to connect yet. However, part of that is because the new case has been charged. So now that I believe we have everything that's going to be charged, at least in the near time future.
Is that him in the courtroom there with the Subway shirt?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's him.
Okay, he's making all kinds of bonds, it looks like. Continued April 18th at 10:30.
And Chris, we're going to call you. We're
Okay.
still working with the state, so I have more information for you. Okay.
Okay.
I just don't have any more information for you yet.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
You want to call and get him in? Okay. And then Chris, we're going to call you. Okay.
Okay.
Setting all these cases over to the 18th as requested. Take a while.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Did we have Lacey Stockton today? She's on there.
All right, State versus Lacey Stockton, 23 CR 300,064, Mr. Randall.
Judge, probably just need to get that set for prelim.
Okay.
Mr. Marzinski and I are going to continue to talk about the case, but I think based on the allegations, we're probably at least going to have to get a prelim date on that.
Single count theft allegation. All right.
Yeah, that's the bank thing.
Okay. April, it's like April 24th on a Wednesday in the morning seems to be open.
Yeah, and hey, Larry, on that one, we are probably going to request a hearing on that. I typically waive prelims. I just want to give you the heads up. So if you need more time to subpoena people, I don't have any problem with that. I just want to let you know that this is one of the instances where I probably will be requesting a hearing.
Is that enough time, April 24th, Mr. Marcinski?
I anticipate it should be, sir. Yes.
And like I said, Larry, as always, if it's not, just let me know.
All right. Is that time?
Is that at 9 o'clock?
I can do 9 or 9:30, whatever time works for you.
How about 9:30?
All right. So this will be an in-person preliminary examination, Ms. Stockton.
Okay.
Lacey, we'll call you.
Okay.
What are you going to say, Lacey?
I will be starting a new job May 6th, and I, am living in Missouri, so just want to let you guys know.
Understood. And Lacey, just like we talked in the courtroom earlier, we'll talk to you again. We'll be calling you after this to discuss the case more in depth.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. In-person prelim, April 24th, 9:30.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Is she permanently confused, or did she only Botox one side of her face? That one eyebrow being up in the air through the entire docket is just it just got me.
And that one, Judge, we've talked to her multiple times, and we also talked to the DA. So we're tracking everything.
All right, that's good. I'm down to wait a second. State versus Austin Townsend, 24 CR 56.
Your Honor, we're still just waiting on Larned. That's the competency issue. He's right there in the Sumner jail. If you recall,
Yes.
this is the one where
as well.
Yeah, and he had said multiple times he didn't want to go to Larned, if you recall, and he repeats it over and over and over.
Right. So we're let me look here.
We should just be waiting on. But if you don't have a journal entry or something, let me know, Judge. We'll make sure that's remedied.
The order to determine was filed back on March 15th. We're just waiting on Larned.
We're just waiting on Larned. Okay. I know they're pretty backed up. So.
All right, holding pattern, waiting on competency evaluation. When do you want to check in again on this? Maybe a month?
Probably.
Yeah. I'll set it over to May 2nd then. Both cases to May 2nd at 10:30.
Hey, Judge, and on Sierra Gwen, just the more I think about it, could we go ahead and set that to the 18th or 19th, whichever you want to? I'm gonna want to have a little bit more in-depth conversation with her.
That's fine. Let me get to that again. All right, Miss Gwen, if you'll come to the podium again, please. All right. You need to make contact with your attorney, okay?
Yeah, Chris, my number's disconnected, so that's probably why you ain't been getting in contact with me, but I got a phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we called a few times and Yeah, we called a few times and didn't get through.
Well, do you have a new number you want to give him, or do you want?
Yeah, I have a phone I'm using, someone let me use, BS 316-221-4144.
Okay, we're going to call you after this hearing and
Okay.
have you come in. Just same office as you came to last
Okay.
time.
Did you get that number written down?
We did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Brooklyn's right next to me writing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
And did
that's why
want
you don't
this
see my
set
name.
over. You wanted this set over to what date?
The 18th. Yeah, we're going to have Sierra. Sierra's been to our office. We've met with her a few times. So she's good about coming to appointments. So I believe that time will be sufficient.
Well, write this down, Ms. Gwen, April 18th at 10:30. That's when you need to be back in court, okay?
Judge, can you have Ms. Nguyen report to our office when she leaves the courthouse too, please?
All right. Ms. Gwen, if you'll do that, please. Any objection, Mr. Randall?
No, I don't have any objection, Your Honor.
All right. Report to Community Corrections when you leave here after the hearing, okay?
The ISO, right?
Correct.
Yes, Mike Bruner, yes.
Yeah, Mike Bruner.
And then Sierra, we'll be calling you. So just make sure you have your phone on you so we can talk to you.
Okay.
All right. State versus Brandon Wilson, 22 CR 100.
It's usually not a good thing when community corrections pops into your Zoom hearing and asks for you to report right away after. Typically that's not something that you want to happen.
So that one, Your Honor, that's the child support one where he's on. They do have a income withholding order, and he's getting $921 taken out of his paychecks every month.
Okay.
So he is paying. There's an income withholding order that's taking. So essentially, I think we've talked with him on the phone. We met with him, and then we've had a couple of court hearings. And the whole idea was it's one of the very basic cases when you have a back child support, and he is paying it. We would just ask that you give us a date 60 days out, or even 30 days out if you want a tighter leash. But it is being taken directly out of his check, so the payments are coming in.
What's the state want to do?
No objection to a 30-day continuance, so I can discuss it with Mr. Randall a little more further.
All right, I'll set it over. How's the May 2nd date? Does that work?
Yeah, May 2nd works, Judge. Thanks.
All right, May 2nd at 10:30. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Down to Devin Dunbar, 23 CR 191. It's on for sentencing. Are we ready for sentencing?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
All right, there's Mr. Dunbar.
Mhm.
All right, Mr. Dunbar on February, if I got that date right.
February 29th.
Yeah, okay, it is right. I guess that's not too long ago. February 29th, 2024, you appeared before this court and entered a guilty plea to count 1 theft at level 9, non-person felony. Court accepted your plea, found you guilty of that count. Have the parties had plenty of time to review the pre-sentence investigation report?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Defense has.
Does either party have any disagreement with the criminal history worksheet?
No, sir.
Defense does not, Your Honor.
Mr. Dunbar, do you admit the criminal history set forth in that worksheet is correct?
Yes.
All right, I'll find the defendant's criminal history score to be B as in boy. Primary crime is count 1, the level 9, non-person felony. Regarding that count, I find the presumptive guideline sentence for that primary offense as a prison term of 13 to 15 months with a standard sentence of 14 months, post-release supervision duration of 12 months, probation duration of 12 months. You do fall in the presumptive prison category. Plus, there's some special rules at play here. Crime committed while on felony bond. Number 29, special rule, 3 or more prior convictions for felony theft, burglary, or aggravated burglary, and that's presumed prison as well. So you're presumed prison 2 different ways. And you got a special rule on consecutive sentencing. Does the state request a durational or dispositional departure?
Not independently, Your Honor, but I've agreed to join the defense in theirs.
All righty.
And Judge, we did file a motion for dispositional departure March 29th.
I have
Okay.
that. I'm getting ready to say I know that you filed a departure and you may present your motion at
Oh,
this.
my apologies, Your Honor.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. Are you ready for me to?
I am ready for you to present. your
Okay. So Judge, this is a case where Devin was essentially in possession of a stolen truck that has since been recovered. So, I want to tell you a little bit about Devin and our journey, because I think it's important for allocution purposes and for the record. When I met Devin, Devin was in custody. Devin had since made bond, which we requested the court for that bond. The court agreed, put him out on bond. Devin and I, as I try to do with all my clients, I try to be very, very honest and have very candid discussions. I try not to, for a colloquial phrase, I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I tell Devin exactly what I think. And Devin was one of those people that came right back and told me what he thought. And we had some very, heated is probably not the right word, but we had some very candid and frank discussions. And then I looked at his criminal history, and it did not read well, and it almost fell out of my chair. And so then when Devin and I talked further, and he said, listen, my life is turning around. I've had addiction problems. Things have changed. I didn't believe him. And I talked to him. I said, Devin, you're a really smart guy, man, but I'm not going to sit here and be manipulated. And he said, no, I'm not. I said, Devin, I'll tell you what. You walk the walk, and I'll go to bat for you. And Devin did it. And we kept talking, and I thought, you know what? He was telling me the truth. He said, I'm in Oxford House. I said, okay, sure. We called. He was. I said, Devin, you need to show up for that dispositional hearing if we get you out. He did. He was dressed appropriately. He was dressed nice. He was sober. He was there with his girlfriend or fiance. And I said, Devin, you can't miss any appointments with me or the court. And he hasn't. We call, he answers. We ask him to come in. He comes in. We ask him to show up for court. He shows up for court. And he has walked the walk. He's been in Oxford House. He's done everything. And Devin and I don't want to ever say we had a bad relationship. That's not the right phrase, but Devin did everything that he said he would do. And I said, Devin, I'm not going to go in the court and go to bat for you. But what I will say is if you walk the walk, then I will. And he has. What I can tell you, Judge, is if you look at Devin and you only look at the criminal history, it's not going to look good. It's a lot of property crimes. And the reason behind that is Devin had addiction problems. Those addiction problems right now are behind him. And I say this a lot in these hearings where I ask for a dispositional departure. I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know what Devin's going to do. What I can tell you is from the moment we talked in jail until now, Devin has walked the walk. Devin said, I will plead guilty, and I will be sober, and I will get in Oxford House, and I will get a job, and I will be at every court hearing, and I'll be at every appointment at your office. And he is batting 1,000. So I've been pretty impressed with Devin, and I've been pretty impressed with what he's done. And I recall the court's words were Devin's behavior from when he bonded out until the sentencing is going to weigh heavily on the court's decision. Now, the court never tipped its hand and the court never made any commitments, but the court did say that. And I told Devin that. And in that respect, Your Honor, I would submit to the court that I don't think Devin could have possibly done better on bond. And he has done everything right, and he has done everything he could do. He accepted responsibility. He saved the state and the court a lot of money and time. He's working on his sobriety. He's got a job. He's kicking rear ends. I mean, he's doing great. And I really hope that the court grants him a dispositional departure because I want to see him continue to succeed. Prison, as you know, has 3 purposes, but really only 2 that actually happen. One is it's punishment. 2, it prevents crime from happening while somebody's incarcerated. And 3, it says it's rehabilitative, but it's not rehabilitative. So by giving him a dispositional departure, you're not taking away from the punishment factor, and you're not taking away from the court's ability to drop the hammer on him and impose the sentence if he doesn't walk the walk. If you sentence him straight to prison, he's going to go to prison post-release, and then there won't be anything hanging over his head. It takes away from the incentive for him to keep on a great path that he's been on for several months. And that's what I'm worried about. Prison is the easy decision, but we would submit we don't believe it's the right one. I believe Devin deserves a chance. We're hoping that the court thinks so, and I think his behavior has shown that. And I will say, Judge, had Devin not walked the walk all this time, I wouldn't have filed the motion. Now, of course, to be a zealous advocate for my client, I would have just let Devin speak, but had he not walked the walk, I'm not going to come in here and misrepresent something I don't believe to the court. Will Devin continue to walk the walk? I think so, and I hope so. And if he doesn't, then the court has a very, very big remedy to drop on him, and sending him to prison for a probation violation is very easy to do. So for those reasons, Judge, we would ask that the court grant our motion for dispositional departure. We would ask for the lower number, but if the court is inclined to put the standard or the aggravated number as sort of a bigger hammer, as long as he gets on probation, we wouldn't have the biggest issue with that. I mean, the issue is I just want to give him an opportunity to succeed. And for those reasons, Judge, we would ask that the court grant our dispositional departure, that the court place Devin on probation, that the court give him an underlying sentence, have him continue to report, and then report to probation and conditions be gainful employment and not breaking the law. That's
I
all.
see
Thank
that
you.
he was on felony bond out of Sedgwick County in 23 CR 741, and I see that that is now a conviction there. Is he on probation there?
Yes, I believe. Devin, you're on probation, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's he on? I assume it's community corrections.
Yeah, you're on community corrections, right, Devin?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yeah,
it-
he's
Is he in
yeah.
drug court or anything like that there, or what's going on there?
No,
I'm just,
he's just community corrections.
Probably doesn't qualify for drug court.
No, because with criminal, typically, no, they have two things now. They have drug court and veterans court, and typically he's is beyond that, but he's on community corrections. So we would just ask that he
he must have been given a departure there.
Correct. That's right, Devin. Am I correct?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, he would have, Judge. I mean, that was my
How long has he
understanding.
been on probation?
Devin, do you know how long you've been on probation?
About 8 months.
I mean, I'm asking this of the attorney because I don't want to talk directly to
Sorry. Yeah.
Mr. Dunbar, but do you know if there's been any violations of probation there?
I don't know, Your Honor. I mean, I'm happy to look into that further. As you know, I specifically stay away from Sedgwick County appointed cases. I prefer.
Well, I know, but I mean, it seems to me how he's doing on probation there. Do you know Mr. Bruner?
I just looked in Athena. That's a shared database with them. They marked him as an absconder on March 24th. Now, I don't know for sure that that's accurate. It could be a data entry error. I can make a phone call real quick if you'd like.
What?
Yeah, Judge, I mean, I'm not disputing what's in the computer. I would find it very hard to believe, though, that Devin has intentionally absconded from anything, because if you recall, we had a dispositional hearing in Sumner County in person. He was there. He's there again today. He's never missed a phone call or appointment with me.
Well, before I go out on a limb and consider anything, I want to know how he's doing in that probation.
I understand, Your Honor.
I mean, he's been on for 8 months, and if he's flying that straight, let's look at somebody who's grading his papers for that 8 months, is what I want to see.
I understand, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm showing a case number up there of 23 CR 741.
That's correct. According to the PSI, that would be correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Judge, I'll look further into it and pass on whatever information I get if the court wants to set over the sentencing another couple of weeks and keep them in the same bond conditions. I mean, I have time. We can wait if a call needs to be made. My only worry is if we have a disagreement with the information relayed to the probation officer.
No, that's fine, but I'm not even, I assumed if he's flying that straight and that great, we'd look, there's been no issues yet, and we can just keep moving forward, but.
Judge, I found another chrono entry. A Judge Thatcher issued this warrant on March 29th, it says.
Okay.
I don't know who Judge Thatcher is. I don't think there's a Sedgwick County Judge Thatcher. That might be.
I'm sorry, Judge Williams. I misspoke.
Oh,
My judges recognize that name.
yeah. I mean, I know Eric Williams well.
But
hold on, Devin, don't say anything. But
Yep.
it's news to me. Nobody has mentioned anything, and he also has. I think he had a separate attorney, Scott Poor, as well. And Scott, yeah, and he had. We've been in contact, and he's never mentioned anything to me. So, if anything has happened, Judge, I'll let you have a chance to look into this. I just really, inclined to go with the presumption unless I know for sure that he's performed well while on an 8-month probation, while he's going through this process. So, I hope that he has been flying straight. And if something's gone off the rails, I need to know about it before, because there are a lot of crimes on his criminal history. So, and I kind of disagree with you on one thing. The easy thing to do isn't to send him to prison. The easy thing's to grant probation and cross my fingers, because I don't like sending people to prison. That's the easy thing. The hard thing is sending somebody to prison. But I don't hesitate to do it when it needs to be done. So do this in person if we can. If we need to set up a special hearing. Yeah. So if I do go the other direction on something, this shouldn't be surprising to you. People don't turn themselves in very often, unless they're doing the 48 hours for DUI. That seems to be pretty consistent. But I think I can do April 11th.
April 11th, a Thursday, and if we can do a special setting if you'd rather, or we can do April 11th and have that in person and just be the regular date as well, whichever you want to do.
Am I good on that? When do I have to fly to the army? Could we do 2 weeks? Could we do the 18th? Or a special setting. Here's my only worry. I mean, Wednesday even would work better than Thursday. The only
That's
reason.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, next Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I think that's fine.
I think I have to go to I think I have army duty and I gotta fly and I don't want to have to continue it. So Wednesday would probably work.
And that's April 10th. Does that work for you? Because I don't want to cramp you. I know you sacrifice a lot to help me out on this docket. I want to be accommodating.
Yeah, no, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Yeah.
You already here first with the health in the detail.
I don't know. You're not on Stanley Dietrich's file, are you?
No, but I can be if you need me.
No, it's somebody else.
I was just wondering, where are all the cases, guy? We haven't had any cases in a while.
Oh, they're starting to come, I think. April 10th then at what time do you want April 10th, the sentencing hearing set?
You want to do like 9:30?
Yes, that's fine.
Because I like to come straight from home and I live closer to there than I do here.
Okay. You can do 9 or 9:30, whatever you want.
How about 9:30?
All right.
Devin, can you be there in person 9:30 next Wednesday?
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, thanks, Dev.
All right, we'll set sentencing will be continued to April 10th, April 10th at 9:30. And this will be in person. And so, Mr. Marcinski, I know you're supporting this motion. I don't expect you to do anything different.
You want to check with this?
And comply with your plea agreement, but as an officer of the court, if you'll at least give me an answer on what's going on with and a probation officer as well. And I know Mr. Randall will figure out how he's performed on the probation that he's on with Sedgwick County. Because that's very key to the courts.
And yeah, and Judge, I wouldn't in any way, not that this, I mean, if Larry being candid with whatever he finds out, I wouldn't even think that in any way he was backing out of his agreement. So he doesn't have to worry about that.
I can't go do the investigation, as you know, but I do. And if I hear nothing.
Yeah, I understand.
Get a report on, put it this way, if I don't, with the presumption of prison, if I don't get a full report, one way or the other, I'm going to have a hard time granting this probation. So I really need to see what's going on in that.
Yeah, I totally understand.
That's kind of where we're at. I see this being the biggest factor. So if there's just this dark lack of knowledge about how that is, I don't think I'd be doing my job. So April 10th at 9:30 in person. You'll have to be here, Mr. Dunbar. Okay.
Yes, sir. I understand.
All right. Very good.
I'll be there.
Devin, you can go ahead and sign off.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Okay. So this hearing is concluded.
And then, yeah, Judge, you got more big cases coming my way?
I know it. I got them. They're coming in every day probably. So I try to not load down people. So it sounds like
I'll take the big ones.
Okay.
I like the bigger ones better.
Me too.
I understand.
They're just more interesting. I mean, the littler ones, since we're at the, I mean, like Larry and I are really good about communicating. He's great. They're easier to dispose of, just natural.
Oh, he has no idea how right he is. Okay. Okay, that was awful. All right. We've been talking in the chat. All right. I'm probably going to come out as the dumbest YouTuber in the world after this, but okay. I can't see chat right now because I'm on another tab. Okay. Look, Salty Buddha. How much would it cost to come from Amsterdam, Netherlands to the United States? And it says how to get from Amsterdam to America by train, bus, or car. Oh, there's an America, Netherlands. Google's an asshole. That is not okay, Google. That is not. I put into the United States. And I don't want to ship myself. I don't want to ship Salty Buddha. I don't have that many stamps to stick on his ass. Travel from Netherlands, Amsterdam to okay. All right, here we go. Well, at least we have an idea now that it's the same price all over Wisconsin. Okay, see, this is not entirely my fault because he kept saying that there's an Amsterdam in the United States, and then I needed to search for Netherlands, Amsterdam. And it kept popping up to America. And so I was thinking, okay, maybe there's like a bridge or something. I don't freaking know. I have told you guys that I am geographically declined and directionally illiterate. That is not a secret. So I have no idea if there's, some underwater tunnel route or something that's been built. How am I supposed to know? So, oh man. So when it kept telling me that it was a thing, I'm like, it says it's a thing. Yeah, I guess it is. This is not my fault. This is not my fault. This is on Google. I told you I was gonna look stupid. I knew I was gonna look stupid. Yeah. That's Greek to me. I don't know anything about that. I've never flown. Have really no desire to do it either, but I've been on a train. Like a real train, not like an Amtrak. Like a like one with a caboose and everything. Aww. You have such low standards. I love it. I love you, Philip. Oh, well, thank you. I had no idea. Oh, okay. That's what the arrow meant. Okay. Oh my God, you guys. This is just, okay. So it's around $1,100 plus there's probably other fees because then there's bringing along 2 doggies. And, well, I know it is a real train. It's on the real train tracks. It's just, when I think of train, I don't think of Amtrak. To me, that's a passenger car. When I think of train, I think of a choo-choo. chugga, 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 chugga. Yeah, that's the train. Oh, yeah, see? Yep. I am going to call it a night, guys. I'm gonna take my meds and head to bed. Ooh. Yes. And see, that's why I won't do the sound effect. How fun. Like I said the other night, I've never lived more than a couple blocks from the train tracks all of my life. We had hobo symbols painted on the back of my family's home to let them know that it was a safe place for them to come. Trains, like hobos and trains, are just ingrained in the history of me. And I don't know. I made a joke that maybe someday I'll have a home more than a few blocks away from a river and the trains, but I don't know if I would like that. I love hearing the train come by. It's people are like, how can you live by a train all the time, having to listen to that? I don't know. I always have. I think I'd feel lost without it. It's weird. Yeah, because you can't tie my animal sounds to other things usually. I'm not calling you a hobo. Don't do that. Don't mix my words up. Just because I happened to start talking about them and think about them when I was talking to you doesn't mean I'm calling you one. I don't need to. I can look out my front window. Or every time I try to go to anything on, 4 blocks away in that direction, there's always a train in my path. If I'm running late. If I'm not running late, smooth sailing across town. If I'm in a hurry, there's a train. Oh, I used to always go down to the viaduct and rescue pigeons when I was a little kid. They'd get hit by cars that came under the viaduct. And I would always go down there when I was a kid. It was only a couple blocks from my parents' home. And I would always look for pigeons in the road. And if there was one that was, stunned or hopping funny, I'd have to pick it up and nurse it back to health. No, that is so cute. I don't know who Shoestring is. Now I'm going to have to look up Shoestring. Okay, guys, I'm going to go to sleep now before I do it on camera. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.